Today we'll be making a bioactive leopard gecko desert terrarium. What a mouthful. Welcome to Verdanta Terrariums. Look at that beauty. Let's get started. So we got a baby gecko and I wanted to build her a new home. So first step was to actually get a tank. Luckily found this at a thrift shop close by the house, and after that went to the store to go buy some materials.
All right, got this terrarium just about fully cleaned, but good enough. Now time to start experimenting with the hardscape. Being here in Florida, it's a bit tough to find actual rocks outside, so I had to go buy a bunch of these. Hopefully, these will make for a nice scape. Alright, not bad. I think that's exactly what I was looking for. Perfect. Experimenting with a few different looks, I think I finally found a hardscape setup that I like, that should offer plenty of hiding spaces for insects, of course the leopard gecko herself, but still provides a lot of room for customization and a few changes here and there. So time to go ahead and try super gluing this together, not destroying it. Fingers crossed.
After getting a good feel of what the hardscape should look like, threw in some egg crate because I know this was going to be a very heavy terrarium, just to make sure we didn't damage the glass. Next, some drainage layer.
I guess this will have to do.
Now, after putting those rocks in here, I realized I may have come up short. And also keep in mind this is a desert ecosystem, so it's not going to see too much water. Right, so there's not really a need of a drainage layer, but worst case scenario, if I may want to change this down the line, I'll still have that available for us, and you'll be able to see a little bit in the front. But now let's go to the substrate.
Now it's time to make the actual substrate. So basically what I'm going to do is mix a little bit of topsoil with some sand because I want to mimic somewhat of a desert-y environment. I don't want to go 100% sand, and I don't want to go 100% soil or anything that retains too much moisture. So now I've got roughly a 50-50 mix, topsoil and sand. Time to mix them together and see how this turns out. Okay, all mixed up and it's looking pretty good, but I think I want a little bit more sand in it.
Now, after making the substrate, I basically cut some blocks of wood and put the hardscape on top of that because I wanted to elevate this up to a level that I was comfortable with so that there would be good basking spots as well as some cooler areas and hiding areas.
All right, so I guess in hindsight, I maybe should have made more substrate, but I guess we'll just have to make this work. So now I push the sand back and the substrate back to a level I think I like. Now I'm going to start by placing rocks around, try really fulfilling the back part of this scape. So my wife went out and got me some plants. So now, let's see where we can put these on here.
After planting these, let's call them main plants, they look pretty good. However, it still looked off. There's a certain something missing. It still looked too bland. So what I did was I went for a little walk outside my house and looked for some air plants and added those, and it added that little extra touch that I feel like I needed here. So up next, added springtails because, of course, how else would this be bioactive, right? We need those organisms to break down all of the decaying matter that will come down the line. And of course, just for good measure, threw in a few other critters that I was able to find. And now, time to bring in the main resident. Let's see if she likes it. Watching her take her first few steps in her new home was pretty great to see. And come to think about it, this was actually her first time ever stepping on real soil. I believe at the pet store they just kept her on carpet and she's never actually felt sand and soil underneath her. So she was definitely very inquisitive, exploring all around, and of course she did track down a few of these crickets to their demise. After quite a bit of time exploring the new setup, it looks like she had found a nice warm place that she'd like, and it also came with dinner. Now look at this dumb cricket. And there you have it, folks. It's a bioactive leopard gecko setup, and it looks like she loves it. Feel free to go make your own.